Tice, ride it. Robin, welcome to Nonstop Rock Talk. It's truly an honor to be speaking with you this afternoon. As our time is limited, let's dive right into your latest release, and that is Black Swan, which features yourself as well as guitarist Red Beach, bassist Jeff Pilson, and drummer Matt Starr. That's a stellar lineup. Tell me how this project came to be.
Very simple. A call from Jeff Pilson, who in turn had a call from Frontier Music to put a band / a project together, and he had worked with Red before in earlier Dawkins, so he called Red, talked to him about it, and he gave me a call, and he goes, "Hey, I'd love you to do this. You want to write with Red Beach?" And I go, "Well, who doesn't want to write with Red Beach?" And I said, "Who's playing bass? I hope you are." And he said, "No, I don't want to play bass on this. I'm just being in a production role." And I said, "Well, that could be a deal breaker there, Mr. Pilson." So we just carried on, got into it, started writing some riffs. I came back with some lyrics, some melodies, and first song out the gate actually was A Big Disaster, which Reb laughed at me, and he goes, "It's a new project, but perhaps a title like Big Disaster might not be the way to go." But we carried on writing and came out with a great record, I think. We're very happy with it, and great production, thanks to Mr. Pilson. And I've known Jeff Jeff was my best man 27 years ago this year, so wow. Jeff and I have a long history together.
Wow. Was there an expectation from Frontiers as to what they wanted it to sound like?
All I heard was, I remember saying to Jeff, I said, "Well, what are they looking for?" He goes, "Classic rock record." And I go, "Oh, well, let's not give them more of the same." And that's kind of where we left it. We didn't really discuss how we wanted to approach it. Red Beach is Red Beach, as is Jeff and myself and Matt, and we just started writing, and I'd come back with stuff that they'd say, "Okay, we think this might go a little bit like this," and I'd come back with something completely different. Right. And I remember one day in the studio saying to Jeff, "I'm never going to come back with what you expect. It's going to be something what you don't expect." And a prime example was they sent me an MP3 and they went, "Okay, have a shot at this one, see what you have come up with." And I came back to Jeff and I said, "Oh man, I just love this wolf sounding effect that Reb had on the intro of this song." And Jeff says, "What wolf sound?" And I said, "You don't hear it right here. That's what he meant, right?" And he goes, "No." And I said, "Well, I wrote this whole song about vampires because I'm a big vampire movie buff." Yeah. And so I wrote this whole song around vampires because I thought he was playing this sort of a wolf-sounding riff on the top and became Immortal Souls. So that gives you an idea where my head was at, And Jeff goes, "Okay, whatever." Next. Awesome. And that's really where it went. It was funny. And they'd send me stuff going, "Oh shit, what's he going to come up with now?" And it was so much fun. It was so much fun because they didn't know what I was going to come back with. They didn't know more than I did before hearing it, of course,
Right. I have listened to the album probably 5 or 6 times in the last couple of days. And,
wow.
Yeah, I really like it. There's just something about it. It's really, really good. I was just at the gym before we did the interview, and I had it on as I was on the bike, and I was like, "Man, this is so good." And I listened to it today earlier as well, so I have to get on Amazon and buy the vinyl. So, and I'm happy to see that it is going to be on vinyl, which is fantastic.
Yeah, it's Jeff's production is great. It's the best vocal sound I think I've ever had on any piece of recording that I've ever been involved with. I love what he did. That was kind of the intention, to make it really powerful and maybe not what people would expect. And also to keep it fresh and sort of organic sounding. Right. And I think we definitely captured that, and I think that's what's catching people by surprise. They're going, well, we thought we would get a decent enough sounding record, but not like this. So,
Yes.
um,
Agreed.
yeah, we're very, very, very happy with it. The reaction has been, dare I say it, it's just it's pleasantly surprising. We never expected it. You know, you make a record and you go in and we had a lot of fun and people were going, how does it feel being part of a super group? And I'm going, please don't call it that, you know. There's nothing super about anything, you know.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of guys. We all do our own stuff. We're crazy busy, and we just happened to get the call to come together, and we made a decent piece of music. And yeah, I hope it sees the light of day. It's great to be able to do this, so that you know it's all brand new songs. Nothing dragged out of the trash from previous collaborations. It's all brand new stuff. So very happy about it. And thanks for listening a half dozen times. It's probably more than I've listened to it.
Yeah.
I don't even have a CD.
Well, I have the advance on it that Frontier sent
Yeah, I
me.
got the advance too. That's what I have. So.
And that's what excites me is the simple fact that because I was listening to it speakers off a computer, so I'm excited to hear the vinyl and hear it, you know, like on the big stereo, because and you did mention about the vocals, and I wanted to ask you about that because I do notice that sonically those vocals sound amazing. There's a lot of stuff going on, especially on your vocals, and I'm assuming that Jeff had they were multi-layered, and it's just the sound of those vocals is phenomenal. I kind of do agree with you that maybe that is your best on record vocal performance.
Yeah, you know, one of the most important things is the microphone. And he had this great Neumann 67, and I started singing, and Jeff said, "Oh boy, this microphone loves you. We'll keep this one."
Yeah.
And I could get up really close to it, and it captured all of the dynamics on the lower end of my voice. And then when I power into it, it just wouldn't break up. It would keep it. And the most layering I would do is I might double track. I'm really good at double tracking, though I say so myself. You know, I can make it sound like one vocal.
Yeah.
And just purely for the purpose of fattening something up and making it a little less harsh, even. So I would do the normal, like most people do. I might double track a chorus or a pre-chorus. And I did most of my own backup vocals. Jeff sings a lot of backup vocals.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of really high stuff on a couple of the tracks that my son Casey, who's a great little guitar player, he turns 21 on Valentine's Day, along with I have twin boys.
Nice.
And, you know, he wanted to come into the studio, and he goes, "Oh, Dad, do you think I could play some guitar on this?" And I don't know if we have the time. Just rhythms, you know.
Yeah.
Because he's really good. And Jeff said, "Can you sing?" And he goes, "I think so. Ask Dad." And you know, he can power out a nep at full voice. You know, so we got to sing together. And some of the time we would just send him out there by himself, and I'd say, "Sing a harmony on this," and he had a blast doing it. So it's not overlayered. You know, there's some of the stuff we would put the big old gang vocal on, but there's no trick. We can definitely reproduce that live, just like it is. And Jeff didn't use any of that sort of processed BS that gets overused.
Right.
And it sounds like I do, and that's what I really like. And I know that sounds a little conceited, but I wanted it to sound real. Yeah. And there's a lot of stuff that I've done that's just over processed, and I'm going, "Who's the guy singing?" Because it's not me. That's not what I planned at all. And I'm as particular with the vocal sound as guitar players are with their own guitar sound, you know?
Yeah.
And it worked out terrific. Jeff's a great singer himself and totally understands what's required. I mean, you know, he works in Foreigner, for God's sake. And they are very good with melodies.
Yeah, no kidding.
You know, so, yeah, he did an amazing job. My best sounding record, my most favorite record.
That's awesome.
Of everything I've ever recorded.
Wow.
Yeah.
That says a lot.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
no, and it is. And absolutely, because it's so much stuff I did even in the MST stuff, and it's like, ah, you know, why
yeah,
did I go to all that trouble? Now it's like, it's just, turn on the effects. It's all bullshit, Anyway, it's not on there. This is, that's why I think it sounds as fresh as it does. And it's very powerful, and it's like we're standing in the room doing it. Kind of an acid about faith thing was when Matt came in to play drums. We had everything recorded because Jeff because he didn't want to play bass, but Reb and I had other ideas about that, so he did play bass. And when it came to drums, he had different drummers that he was talking to, who became more and more less available as the recording went on. I had worked with Matt at the Vegas show that I do,
yeah,
and I ran a couple of events with him in Hollywood. And I said to Jeff, Matt's an amazing drummer. And Jeff said, is he free? And I said, let me ask him. And he came in and he brought the thunder over the top.
that's
And he powers it. And just with the icing on the cake, it's just fantastic. It's just great stuff.
I agree.
And it really, really adds that extra element that we needed. So we get a great record as a result.
Yes. In the press release, it states it's certainly not Dokken. This is on Frontiers. Certainly not Dokken, nor Winger or MSG, but it's its own unique animal. I have to admit that the album is a great natural amalgamation of the three bands that were just mentioned. But I do hear slight elements of each band in certain spots. For instance, some, like you mentioned before, some of the background vocals have Jeff Pilson's stamp on them, and there are parts that remind me of both Winger and Whitesnake in terms of the guitar work. Of course, as I mentioned, your vocals are amazing, and the melodies are your trademark. Would you tend to agree with that statement?
I suppose, Tyson, it would be nigh on impossible that there wouldn't be hints of any of those elements because of where we come from. I mean, because we're so familiar with Jeff, with Dokken, and of course he just did another project called The Endgame.
Yes.
And then of course Winger and Whitesnake. It's who we know that they come from. So we go, yeah. And Jeff, of course, is a huge Beatles fan, and there's lots of little stuff that he does in there that, to me, very Beatle-esque, which is just great.
Yeah.
And he go, I stuck that on there. What do you think? And I'm going, dude, I love it. And there was never a case of going, oh no, that doesn't suit this record, because nobody ever said that this record had to be any which way except us,
Yeah.
And so there's that level of respect that you go, this is great. I have no question about it. It's terrific. So there's always going to be a hint of this, that, or the other. But I think on the big picture, I think we still made it very much a Black Swan record without any ties to all of the above. And I think that's what we really strived. That much we did. What's the point in doing a Whitesnake sounding record or an MSG sounding record or a Dokken one? People are going to go, oh, well, this one is like Dokken, and that's like, man, it kind of defeats the object. But at the same time, we didn't stress out over the whole thing. We just did it, and it came out that way, and that's what you got. And that's kind of cool, because it's such a time waster.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
you have to start going, oh, dude, we can't do that, let's change it. We never did anything like that. We just went, yeah, this is it.
That's cool. And I mean, it is a total Black Swan album. I was just kind of taking it from the point of view of that press release, and I wanted to know your thoughts.
A lot of people have said to me, typically, when Frontiers gets involved, they're going to put together people from lots of different bands, and what they've commonly said to me is, typically, again, what you get is a bunch of guys that will come together and dig up a bunch of songs that never got used for their individual projects,
Right.
and rehash them and put them together, and it sounds just like that. It's like not much effort. Let's just do this. We get it out of the way really fast, and that'll be the end of it. And we wanted a real record.
Yeah.
The most they asked for was a classic rock record. That was it. That's it. And I went, well, that can go any way.
Yes.
And we never, I'm serious, we never really discussed it, other than the fact it's going to be a classic rock record because of who's making it. That's a given.
Yeah.
But regards to direction, song, styling, no conversation. As I said, they would send me some music because of our schedules and our whereabouts, and just to get things moving. And then Jeff and I would schedule a studio date, and I'd come to him, and he would look at me going, "What? Okay." And he had no idea, and I went, I'm never going to give you what you think you're going to get.
Right.
And he goes, I love it because there's a story. Everything has a story to it, and we just carried on like that. I mean, I had been to see Bohemian Rhapsody. I was talking to Jeff about it, and he goes, well, if you get done early enough today, I'll take the family to see it tonight. He did, and then I get an MP3 of it like about midnight or something. Pilson comes back home, sits at his grand piano, knocked out the song that really hit him over the head because he just seen the movie.
Yeah.
And it was just a beautiful piece. I called him in the morning, and he goes, did you get a chance to listen? And I went, oh, dude, this is so killer. It was like United, Divided. And he said, what do you think? And I said, let's do it. And he goes, oh, are you home? And I said, yeah, I'll be there in an hour. And I headed off to the studio. We changed a couple of things, very minor things, and we got the whole first half of the song, and that kind of, we were going, whole first half, you mean there's more? And he goes, yeah, I want Red to come up with this riff for another section of the song. We'll just take it to another level. And that's where that came from. So we got sort of part one and part two and put them together, and that's how it came together. It was just so much fun.
That's amazing.
You didn't know what was going to happen, you know?
Wow.
And yeah, it was just and Red. I think Red plays with a real nastiness on this album, which I haven't heard him do on Winger and or Whitesnake. It's him. You opened the door and he just came out and went, ha! Listen to this. And it just killed it. It just killed it. Yeah, amazing.
I
amazing.
agree
He's
with
such
that.
a great, and so much melody in that man.
Yeah, and you know what? There's a few things. There's actually, I mean, as I was listening to it, he aggressive. You kind of nailed that, and that's what I get out of it as well. There's also a few things like on the song "Sacred Place." His solo. It's funny that the solo where he starts that solo, it almost sounds like George Lynch. Sounds like it would be George Lynch, and then you can tell it's him because Lynch always has that ability to be aggressive at the beginning of the solo, and that's what Reb did, and that just kind of blew me away because to me that was different than what he's usually playing, right?
Yeah, and the whole intro on Sacred Place is like it just brings you to tears. It's just so moving, and I grabbed that and I just ran with it. I came to Jeff. In fact, I think Frontiers came back to Jeff and said, oh, man, when they heard the rough mix, they went, oh, dude, if this was 1988, we'd be driving around with Ferraris.
Yeah, no kidding.
And I said, well, we'll just have to settle for a Ford Focus.
Ford Focus. Yeah, and that's kind of the unfortunate thing, too, is like this, it's just, yeah, if it was 1988, I mean, this would be...
Yeah, but it's not, and I'm totally in a great place. I'm contented, and I think what brings a smile to my face is it's not, and we can still write that sort of stuff and have fun doing it.
Yeah.
And Make It There is another classic. There's an acoustic version of that on the record, and it's so, dare I say it, almost sort of crossoverish. You could play it anywhere. Play it for your grandmother, because it's just a cool piece of music, And yeah, it's I don't know. People are going, so do you think you're going to shake the world? And I go, dude, stop being so deep.
We're just having
you
fun.
know, you know, get off your high horse. You know, it's like he goes, well, dude, it's pretty deep lyrics. And I go, well, yes and no, but you know, don't you want to shake things up a little bit?
I
Don't you
agree.
want to? Don't you want to you know, change the way you do things, even if it's not everybody. You know, we all should move and progress and just make it a better place. The world's a very nasty place right now. You
Okay.
know, I always
Okay.
remember, and I keep saying this to everybody. You know, my mom, God rest her soul, my mom would always say, if you live your life, and the best that you can do is to say please and thank you, it's a great place to start. Who says please and thank you anymore? Do you want, you know?
I
It's
agree.
like nobody has any respect. Everybody just wants to flip the other guy off and think that we all owe each other something. You know? It's
Oh,
like, get up off your ass and go work and
you,
do it. You
you,
know, stop having an attitude.
you totally
And,
nailed that on the head because I feel the same way. You totally nailed
right?
that because I feel the same way. Please, thank you,
Yeah,
because that's how I was brought up. I mean, I'm Canadian, but my ancestors, my family is from Britain and from Belgium and whatnot, and I mean,
right.
I was raised that way, right?
And there's nothing wrong with it, you know, and it's just like, it's just common decency. That's all it is.
Hmm.
And what the hell's happened to us that we've lost sight of that, you know? And that's kind of where my mind was going. And I'm going, you know, if for no other reason, it's a reminder to myself. I wouldn't want my kids to grow up with people thinking they were a bunch of assholes.
I
I
agree.
would hate that. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I would hate. And I tell them, and I went, hey, do you want people to talk to you about behind your back, like this is the kind of person you are?
Hmm.
It's just not a nice place to be. But anyway, you get my point.
I totally do. I love Make It There,
Yeah.
by the way, too. And I mean, that line, I don't know if my heart could make it there. I think that's phenomenal. And then the vocal phrasing in the second verse is phenomenal. That really caught my attention. I think
Yeah,
maybe
thank
more than
you.
the
You know,
first verse.
yeah, I came to Jeff with that, and I was actually feeling sick. I actually had a cold or a flu, and I came over to his house, and he goes, "You want to have a shot at this?" And I'm going, "Ah, dude, I don't feel great today." And he goes, "This might make it sound really good."
Really?
Yeah.
That's
And
funny.
that's the relationship I have with Jeff Wilson. So
Yeah.
we went in and we started working on it, and he goes, "Oh, dude, be sick on every song."
Wow.
and we cleaned up a couple of things on it because I was just, you know, I was like, oh man, I don't know if I can sing this. I sounded like Lemmy, you know.
Black Swan Motorhead
And
version.
no, no, dude, yeah, and yeah, it went down pretty close to where it's at. You know, we tidied up a couple of things like you would,
Yeah.
um, and it Jeff Love. He says, "Dude, this is just such a great story." He actually he has told me, man to man. He goes, "I can tell you when I was mixing that." He said, I had to hit pause." And he said, I cried my eyes out. And I went, wait a minute, Jeff Wilson, I made you cry and I wasn't there to witness it.
Really? Oh my goodness. Wow.
Yes, yes. And he goes, I don't mind telling you that. He goes, he said, I went out to my wife and she's going, what is the matter with you? And
Wow.
he goes, Robin made me cry. And I went, there's a winner right there. And
That
I
is
said, oh, well.
that's fantastic. Wow.
You know?
That's I think right now my favorite tune is "She's On to Us." Um,
Ah,
I can't help but think, is that a song about infidelity? I mean,
dude,
it's
that is a true story.
really.
That's a true story. I have a very good friend, and actually the whole family are good friends of mine. And this particular gorgeous woman, may I say,
Mhm.
gorgeous, gorgeous,
Gorgeous,
gorgeous
gorgeous.
person, happens to be, uh, by trade, a private investigator, a PI,
Yeah.
right?
Wow.
And her dumbass husband,
Oh,
this kid kept cracking me up. Her dumbass husband thinks that he can have an indiscretion and she won't find out about it.
Oh no.
Wrong! Burned! Right? And when it was written, I came back to her and I played it to her. And she goes, how could you do such a thing? And I said, well, nobody knows it's about you. I know it's about you.
Yeah.
And she goes, that son of a bitch.
Wow.
And I said, yes, but you fed me all that I needed for this song. Because when it came out, when I heard the riff, I went, oh my God, there's something really, really sleazy about it almost, you know?
Yeah.
And I went, oh, I have got a great idea for this. So I came back to Jeff and he laughed his ass off and he goes, there's another one. I didn't know where this was going. And I said, yeah, this is a true story. And we laid it down and it turned out great. It turned out really, really good. And yeah, that's a true story.
Wow.
So, you know, I mean, what a dumbass, right?
Yeah, no kidding.
She'll never find out, man.
Oh, man. Well, at least,
right?
I mean, at least it's about somebody else. I mean, it's not.
Oh yeah, but no, it's not about me. It
Yeah,
is not. I don't know if I told you, but Jeff was my best man at my wedding.
Yes, you did say
And
that.
and you know, we'll be 27 years this year. No.
Wow.
But I've got
Congratulations.
the best woman in the world.
That's
You know,
awesome.
I'm stupid and I'm Irish, but I'm not that stupid and I'm not that Irish.
Well, I'm stupid too, so.
You know, so excellent.
Yeah, that's all good. I mean, and there's that middle section, the harmony vocal in the middle section where it just stops and
Yeah,
it's
right?
the vocal. That is
Yeah.
so phenomenal. And hopefully you guys will play live and you'll do that song because I mean,
Oh,
with
dude, you know, there's another thing. I'm glad you mentioned that because one of the things I'm a real sucker for this, and I said anything that we do on record, we have got to be able to reproduce it.
right.
And that was a big thing with me and Schenker. And I have never recorded anything that I could not reproduce live.
That's fantastic.
And I want to uphold that in whatever I do. So, yeah, that's really important.
That is awesome.
That's really important.
No, and
Yeah.
I agree with that. So there will be some live shows then, I take it?
Oh my God! If we can get all four of us in the same place at the same time on the same planet,
Yeah.
we'll definitely be up for. We were talking all morning about it. Actually, funny you should mention that.
Really?
And that's you know, the record comes out Friday, and hopefully the reaction will continue to be positive, and it will give us some sort of an indicator that we need to go and do some live work, and hopefully that will be the case. And we'll make it work because I really think I would love to take this live. Absolutely. Yeah.
I would be excited to see it. I have a couple of buddies in the last week since I first heard it. I said, when this comes out, you guys got to check it out. And they're big fans of the genre, right? So I always tell them when good stuff comes out, and I'm like, you got to hear this Black Swan album because it is phenomenal.
Oh, well, that's very cool. Thanks, Tyson. That's awesome.
No
Michael
problem.
Schenker has a son, actually. His name is also Tyson. Did you know that?
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yes, he does. And actually, he has, I'm going to promote him a little bit now.
Yeah.
They just released a video today. And he has a band in the UK called Madre Sun. They just released a video today.
Mm-hmm.
Trick of the Tail, I think it's called, the single.
Yeah.
And it's really cool. And Tyson, just like his old man, plays the flying V and just shreds. He's awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That is
A
fantastic.
little bit of trivia there.
I myself will check that out because I'm kind of intrigued to hear
Yeah.
that. I think that's really neat. Anyways, I think our time is almost about up, so.
Yeah, the other guy just called in, so I better go get him.
Okay. Well, Robin, I thank you so much. I mean, I could have talked another half hour about this album because
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you, Tyson. It's a pleasure.
it was a
You know.
pleasure. Thank you very much, and have a great night.
You're good, and I'll see you out there on the road, okay?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Cause